Hotshot, Jetfire, Vector Prime, Landmine, Scattershot, Optimus Prime.
And I'm Optimus Wilbur. Welcome everyone to another podcast on Optimus Wilbur Reviews. So, after yesterday and thinking about a lot of things, let's dive straight into what everybody's kind of talking about. And that is, of course, what is the state of the Transformers movie universe? Is it a reboot? Is it a remake? Is it a sequel? And the fans are divided. And I think with the producer at all not knowing exactly what it is a bit confusing, and this is just my personal take on it. And I wanted to use images and stuff, but because this is another reason why I wanted to talk it, it's not a political channel or anything like that. I'm far from political, but Article 13's passed, and I don't know correctly the rules yet if I can show images of the movies or anything, even though I'm talking over it and it's unfair use. So, unfortunately, we have to stick with my avatars. Even that might get stopped because they're not original artwork. So, it's, for a content creator, it's worrying times. But let's not think of that. Let's not talk about that. That's not my channel. That is not me. I'm here to talk about Transformers. So, let's look into this. People are divided because everybody was told Bumblebee was going to be the sixth movie. And then after it came out, it was a reboot of Transformers, which I agree it needed. I think with Michael Bay at the helm, things got very one-dimensional and terrible. And the writing was clear to see that. I think, in my personal opinion, that ever only got one good writer, and that was the guy for Dark of the Moon. I'm talking about the Bay movie versus not the Bumblebee one. And the Dark of the Moon, because it used parts of stories from G1, and it worked really well. And that's how I always say that's my favourite live action Transformers movie. That and Bumblebee are the top. Of course 1986 is different. They just don't hold a candle to it. But when you look at the story structure and how everything panned out, with the fight between the Autobots and Decepticons, they've done a really good storytelling. And nice little Easter eggs in that as well. I thought they'd really done a good job. The rest, Revenge of the Fallen says it all. I absolutely despise that movie. Same with Age of Extinction. I just think the writers, the producers, Michael Bay, just did not know what to do. They just seen dollar signs in their eyes. And what we got was mediocre movies, which I feel fell flat in Last Night, even though Last Night had a decent story structure, but because everything changed so much, a lot of people then were like, well, what's happening? That Age of Extinction never made sense, whereas The Last Night did. And now fans are questioning what is the state of the movieverse, because are we getting a reboot, but now we're getting a sequel to The Last Night to finish that off? Does that mean Travis Knight's coming back, who I personally think should, because he gets Transformers where Michael Bay didn't? There's so many questions we've got to bring into this, and as fans we've got to look in it as well with what do we want to see? What are we expecting in the movieverse? Personally, I thought the Travis Knight movie, Bumblebee, as much as I was dreading the movie, I'll be honest, when it was announced, I was dreading it. When I seen the first teaser trailer, it hooked me. It hooked me that bit where it's like, right, okay, you've got me. When I seen it, it was totally different. That was fan service done right. And people can argue blue in the face about what was better. Fans are allowed their opinions, and that's the main important thing here as well. We're allowed opinions. But we've got to also see, what do we really, really want? Do we want the cheesy actor style mixed with the Autobots? Or do we want the Travis Knight style where we have a good character relationship with the Transformers, which I thought was perfect? That was total props, and it was basically the only movie where I've sat and enjoyed seeing the characters interact with the Autobots, but the other ones were quite cheesy, especially the first trilogy. 4 was really bad for it, but when you look at some of the things Shia LaBeouf done, and it was embarrassing, it was actually cringy at points to watch, whereas Bumblebee never felt that way for me. And I think that's the way I want to go. If you're going to make it, okay, you can have that slight humour in the movie, but it has to be a serious tone at the same time, and in the sense where what Travis Knight did do. I feel Michael Bay tried to implement that in parts of his movies, but of course, Michael Bay he's going to go that, instead of just sticking around about 8 or 9, he's going to go to 20 right away. And people can go on about it's just all explosions. Bumblebee was all explosions, but the reason Bumblebee worked was because it was written so well done. You believed that there was a war, whereas the other ones, it was just explosions for the sake of explosions. And that's where I feel a lot of fans, I actually seen this in one of the pages, that it's triggering them because you're looking at it and you're like, well, Michael Bay done explosions in the other movies, Bumblebee's got explosions, so what's the difference? And it's like, it's down to the writing. And I feel with Bumblebee, it felt more as a reboot. It had to be a reboot. Should it have came quicker? Yeah. I've always maintained that they could have easily stopped at The Last Night. Leave it, not The Last Night, sorry, Dark of the Moon. Leave it for until like the 2018. It's at least 5 years. And then bring it back just as Bumblebee, and this is the direction I want to go. With the recent toys and new shows, they've done well. But I think Hasbro seen a lot of writing on the wall and how their product was getting mishandled with Paramount, and then they actually got half decent people in to make a movie on a lower budget, but it looked 10 times better than The Last Night. I'm just saying, you've got to look at the facts and figures of how this movie really did outdo The Last Night. It practically outdone every other Transformer movie next to 2007. I think it's on par with 2007 in the sense of how people reacted to it, where it was not as mixed, whereas the rest of them were very mixed, in my opinion. So I feel fans have got to now decide, what do they really want. Me, I'm happy with the reboot. People want the sequel to The Last Night. Do I feel the sequel's justified just because Bumblebee's kind of saved the franchise movie-wise? No, I don't. I think with Allspark Studios and the way Hasbro are looking at their product, look at what they've accomplished, and then work it round that way. Instead of going straight into, let's finish off the story of what happened at the end of The Last Night. Because if you're going to do that, then you're going to have to make sure somehow that Bumblebee movie connects to everything. Whereas parts of it doesn't. With the other movie, people say it does. There's parts that really doesn't connect to that movie. And that's where then you've got to justify the movie. Let's be honest, if they'd done a sequel and it is as good as Bumblebee, yeah, by all means, but it has to be done correctly. Would I have loved to see Unicron in the big screen live action? Of course, I think everybody did. But again, The Last Night had elements where Michael Bay dropped the ball, and that producer doesn't help with confusing everything he says all the time. That's the other worrying thing we've got to look at as well. But that's just my own opinion. Thought I'd get a little quick podcast out. I'm doing some college work, and because I've seen a lot of it on Facebook and Twitter about the movies, I'd rather put in my 2 cents. I'm all for the reboot. If they do something different, do it right. Do it right. I think the fans deserve it. I think investors deserve it. I don't want to see another mediocre Transformers movie after we had Bumblebee, which was really good, and it raked in a good worldwide profit. So they've got to take that in consideration as well, considering the last night did make a bit of a profit, but it was not well received compared to the other movies. And that's down to whatever they were trying to do, writers, storytelling, anything. So, let me know in the description down below what you think. Let me know in the comments section. And I'll see you guys very soon. Always like and share. Thank you everyone for tuning into the video today. Remember, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and that notification bell so you know that a new Optimus Wilbur review goes live. Also, be sure to check me out on Facebook, Optimus Wilbur Reviews, Twitter, Rodimus8, and Twitch at Optimus Wilbur 85. Just hit that in the search engine at the top. Also, if you wish to become a Patreon or buy from the merch store, look in the description box below. Lastly, I'd like to thank the Cybertronic Spree for allowing me to use their music. Cybertronic Warrior is the theme for the channel. Please check them out on YouTube, Twitter and Facebook, and give them the support they deserve. This band is fantastic and do amazing covers, so please send your support to them. And remember, Transformer fans, till all are one.